Hey gamers, welcome back. Rick here with Game Trade Media coming to you live from GAMA in Reno, Nevada. I've got Chris here from WizKids.
Hey everyone.
So we're going to talk about some board games.
Yep.
So just so you know, WizKids is more than just awesome miniatures, hero clicks. They have a lot more cool stuff, and we're going to talk about it right now.
Okay, so I brought a few games for you guys today. The first one I'm going to talk about right now is Let Her Go. It is a word game where everybody gets a set amount of consonants and a pool of vowels. And pretty much the idea of it is you need to make a word that is 4 letters or more longer using everyone else's letters except for your own. And then in addition to that, there's a bunch of like random wacky rules that get thrown into it. So every letter has something like tied to it. So J would be for jazz hands. So after you're done writing your word, you put down your whiteboard and you have to throw up your jazz hands before you collect a scoring token. So it's
got like a charades pantomime aspect to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's like hand motions you do, or like another one would be like R is for rain. So you have to like draw raindrops around your word and everything. So you have to do whatever the rules say in addition to making your word, and then you also have to be the first to grab one of these like scoring tokens that are numbered 1 through. Well, it's a 3 to 6 player game, so 1 to 6. The first person that grabs like the number 1 scores first. So when you score, you actually show your word. Everyone agrees that it's the right word, and then you take the letters off the board, and that's your point. So if somebody else uses the same letters, if you grab them first, they wouldn't get the scoring. So you have to do all the requirements and grab the number before anyone else. So it's kind of fast paced that way, kind of thinking of a word on the fly, making sure it all fits into what all like the different rules are and everything. So there's the jazz hands one
Right on top.
Yep. And then just scoring immediately.
Then they have jumble.
Yeah, so each letter has 2 different rules associated with it, so you can just kind of mix and match them. You don't have to draw these randomly. You can just flip through them, maybe find your favorite ones, and then pair them up that way.
All right. I like slide. S is slide. You must slide the scoring token to yourself using your answer board. All right.
So
Quake. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so you have to shake up the word and everything like that.
That's really cool.
One of the things that I do like about this, and it's kind of weird to put out there, but like the whiteboards themselves they're nice. Like you can't really do too much in terms of whiteboards, but like they clean off very well. The markers that actually come with the game, you can remove the eraser part for it and then run it underneath the water in order to clean it up and everything like that. I know like previously, I mean I don't want to say one thing about games, but like just Blank White Dice, one of the older games that WizKids used to put out. Whenever you would write on the dice, after you were done with it and you would wipe it off and everything like that, it would be more of a blank grayish color dice. So these whiteboards, they clean very well. You always have like a nice like board to them and everything, and that is nice, very good.
I love it.
That was good.
Very cool. All right.
So this is due out in April.
Okay.
$30, and so it makes just a good. Fun word game for, I mean, we say it's ages 14 plus, but honestly, most of these age limits are because like something like this could pop off. You don't want some little kid, eating it or whatever. But proper adult supervision, you can do like 10 or whatever. A good family game.
Yeah. How many players does it?
It's 3 to 5 players. 3 to 6. I'm sorry, 3 to 6 players. That's
okay.
Yeah.
And then, so the blue ones here are your consonants.
Right. And then if you look on the top of each one of the cards, there's a little star on the top of it. That's your point value.
Oh, okay.
So the more common letters, like S or L or whatever, are 1 point. B is 2. In there is a Q and a U as well.
Wow.
That does count as 2 letters, but if you happen to know a word that only needs a Q and not a U, you don't have to use the U. So it's kind of like making sure that it associates uses all the letters properly. Vowels are worth nothing, but there is an alternate to this game where vowels are worth -1 point.
Oh.
So you don't want to be throwing those cheap words that are like consonant, vowel, consonant, E.
Right. Wow. This is cool.
Yeah, it's a fun game. Like I said, it doesn't take much to learn it, and anybody can just pick it up and play it.
I love it. Let me make sure we get all this.
Yeah, it's my one issue with it is sometimes the pieces are a little difficult to fit back into this box. I feel it's a little bit too small, but you get a lot with it.
You do get a lot.
You also get the 60-second timer as part of it as well. So it's not like you can sit there forever thinking up your word. You're based on a clock as well.
So much good stuff.
I know, right? Yeah, we'll just throw this.
All right, love it.
All right.
Love it.
So that's a game that
And you said that's going to be available when?
That's going to be available in April.
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 All right.
So we're actually going to go for another April game right now, one that we've been demoing here at GAMA that people seem to really enjoy. Endless Pass. You take the role of a Viking, and it's a competitive game, and ideally it's a card-based game where you're going through the Endless Pass, this big valley, fighting monsters, collecting items and everything, and as you fight monsters, you earn glory. And the goal of the game is to get 10 glory and to survive your turn, because you can pretty much take damage at any time during your turn.
Okay.
Even if you have 10 glory and die, even though for a Viking that would still be glorious, it doesn't work for the game.
I mean, I'm a Viking. I mean, look at me.
So the game is actually set up in two different ways. You can actually have the card where everybody is the same stats. You have the same speed, the same draw power, and then of course your health and your glory. Or on the other side, you can actually get a named Viking, which each of them has their own specific stats associated to them, including their own special ability.
Nice.
So cards can be used for different things, or you can use what is this guy? Hey, this is actually one of my favorite ones. This Gunnar the Raider. He can actually use a steel card to take someone else's glory.
Nice.
So it's just just run in there and just grab one of your opponent's things.
The names are cool. Kara, you got Steinbjorn, Brynhild, Hervor, and Sigurd. These are all really cool.
And this is it says 2 to 5 player, but I have played a 6-player version of this, and it works out just as well.
All right.
There are different strategies that you can work with it in terms of so at the beginning of every your turn, you have 2 different decks that you're playing off of. So I'm just going to grab these just to kind of go an example.
Okay.
You have your pass, which everybody draws from there at the beginning of their turn, and these are pretty much your item cards. You'll only ever have 3 of those in your hand at any given time. So in the beginning of your turn, and we'll just use on this side, your speed determines how many cards you draw from the pass. So in this case, you would take 3 cards. Whenever you draw your cards, that's actually a really scary draw, to be honest with you. All monsters would get played in front of you, and let me just put these up a little bit more so you can see. And then you would have to deal with them. You can do them by either evading them, hitting them with a sword, blocking them with a shield, anything that you don't deal with. So if I killed this guy with a sword, but I evaded these 2, they would then get passed on to the next person. So before they even draw, they already have 2 enemies that they have to deal with. So you can start overwhelming one of your competitive Vikings and try to hit them as fast as you can.
Nice.
And then of course, as you go through the deck, you have other items in order to help you with and everything. You have bombs. You throw a bomb, it'll kill the 2 guys in front of you, but also do 1 damage to you as a blowback attack. And then in here, you also have to see here's a shield that you can use. So there's a lot of different items, a lot of different combinations that you can use. And if you have no enemies in front of you, you can then use one of your swords and attack a Viking for either health or glory. So again, it's a competitive thing.
One of the things I find very neat about this, the artwork on this game, is it's very much like if you were doing a comic book. You run in charge or hiding from the monsters. The artwork is very much comic book looking and can almost tell a story in and of itself as you are playing the cards. It looks really cool.
Oh yeah. And then it's also when the actions that you take in the game, like I said with the fire, it kind of makes sense. You throw fire in something in front of you, you're going to get hit by an explosion. Or if you throw a fireball at an opponent, if they play a shield, it'll actually bounce back at you, and you'll take the damage. So it's determining how to play your cards and how they'll work together with each other. So
we can't really talk anymore about the fireballs because I have some RPG PTSD from last night.
Oh boy!
I kept getting blasted with freaking
oh no!
These little freaking fireballs.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna bring. So that's available in April as well, by the way. So it's gonna come out around the same time as Let Her Go.
Okay.
Fungin Party here. This is gonna be due out in June. This is a completely cooperative, really quick style party game.
Nice.
I like comparing it to one of those speed games where it's you have all these quests that you have to do in an X amount of time and everything. But this one takes on the role of various dungeon party people that you go through. So let me just grab some of these to show you and everything. This is also very this isn't the final product in any way, shape, and form. In fact, the punch-out card can't actually be punched out right now, but...
Well, dang it.
I know, but at least you get to see generally what comes with it. This is your magic wand, these are your abilities, this is your health, and then as you go through quests, you're an EXP, so this will come for everybody. All the characters in the game are based off of, like I said, real dungeon crawling adventurers. So you have your paladin, you have your ranger, you have your wizard. Each one of them has their own health to it. So the paladin has 3, ranger 2, and they all have an ability that they can use during their quests.
All right.
The way that the quests work is you would take it from the pile here, and you would take, they say recommend about 6, but you can do more than 6.
Okay.
Every one you take goes into a pile, and you add 30 seconds to a timer. So somebody pulls out their phone or whatever, 30 seconds per card, and then on the count of go, you flip over the first card, and so you would have in a 6-card game, you have 3 minutes to try to complete as many of these as possible.
Wow.
And they have all different types of like really weird things to like taking your dice and balancing them on your head or bouncing them into the box, or sometimes you'll have to roll one of these black dice, which is like the monster dice. So you have to like use your math skills and be like, all right, so you have a 6, you need this row to equal like 7. So everyone rolls their dice and puts dice on there in order to make it equal a certain amount. So it's a lot of quick thinking and determining like who has what pieces in order to be able to accomplish the quest. If you finish it, it goes to the side, and once you're done with the run, it's your experience. If you do not complete it, there's a penalty on the bottom, in which then you choose which one of your party members who takes that point of damage.
Okay.
So it's not like everyone takes.
So this is pretty funny.
Yeah, this is hysterical. I love it.
One of the cards here is Color Run. Lead character sits 10 paces away from the table, places the box lid in front of them, and arranges one of each character die behind the box lid in any order. One at a time, each character takes their die and places it in the next available position in front of the lead character. If the character is correct, they leave their die and return. If they are incorrect, they take their die back to the playing area, and another character guesses. It's pretty cool.
It's a lot to like. There's some shorter ones in there, but like this one right here, Catch Them All, simply enough without even it. The lead character stands 5 paces away, and everyone literally throws their dice at them, and so they have I think like a certain amount of time in order to grab as many dice as they can and bring it back to the table. So
nice.
It's a little bit of physical work to it, some thinking parts to it, and everything, and it's a huge pile of quests. You're going through them so quick, and because you're rolling dice for most of them, it could just be almost a different encounter every time, like depending how you stack it and everything. And each character will have 5 dice with them. So that's
wow.
Yeah,
that's
it's a lot of. You have so many. I think there's like 6 different classes that come with it. Each one would actually have. I mean, again, this is all. We got these dice just for representation for the game, but each one will actually have a colored dice associated with them, each with their own. So,
I mean, can you imagine this? It's called elbow grease. Lead character takes a wand and places it on their arm. Using only your arms, no hands, the wand must travel from character to character.
Yep.
And the challenge is complete once the wand has been passed to all characters. Ridiculous.
So now, just to explain lead character, because we explained it, said it twice. There's 2 different ways to determine a lead character. Whenever you play a quest, there's a symbol in the upper right corner, and that would represent one of the classes. Whoever is that class is the lead character. But if nobody is that class, it's just generally whoever flips it over plays that role. So you kind of get everybody involved one way or another, taking the lead role in a sense for each quest to get it done as fast as possible.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And are you demoing this game?
Yes, this game. Yeah, all these we're actually demoing here at GAMA.
All right.
We have a few more that we think we want to throw out as well, but yeah, everything is here to be played and
Very
everything.
Cool.
Yep.
And this is coming out when?
This is slated to come out in June.
Okay.
But most of it is complete. The dice aren't going to look too much different from this, and of course these got to be punched out.
Right.
So I think June is a pretty safe bet in terms of when it's actually going to be released.
Very cool. Fungeon Party.
Yep.
What's the tagline? There's got to be a funny tagline.
I'm pretty sure it's something as simple as like, what do you call a fun dungeon? A fungeon. You know, just
All right.
it's nothing too off the wall, but it speaks for itself, I believe.
Yeah, I agree.
And this last one here is probably our biggest demo that we have for the show. Well, until we actually get something else in, but I'll talk about that afterwards.
Right.
Kung Fu Zoo, a dice-flicking dexterity game.
Nice.
This is one that apparently people have been seeing around different shows and everything for the past like 2 years or so, and WizKids finally was able to finish it up and put it into production. This will actually be available in like 2 weeks or so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's coming out really soon. And the game works with... Let me just move some guys over here.
So we got a gorilla, zebra, a cheetah,
and an elephant.
and
So the
cheetahs
game...
never prosper. Sorry.
I've heard that joke many times. I'll say it's okay. It's all good.
Well, and, I'll play the elephant because I never forget.
Yeah, right. So everybody would get a set amount of dice. And what's good about these dice is that they're actual animals on them. So it's like you have your head, your sides, your back, your butt, and your feet. So you actually are playing a full animal in these games. And each one of the sides actually correlates to something in the game. So the point of the game is to knock your opponent's animals into either one of the cages around here, or to knock them onto their back. That means that they're stunned.
Okay.
If they do get knocked back off of their feet or off their back during the game, then they're back in. But like, if you had a situation like this where these were the last 2 dice remaining, the gorillas would win because all the cheetahs were gone and they're stunned.
Okay.
Simply, everybody takes their dice, they put it on one of these 4 dots here, and you just flick it in. You just flick it in.
Curses.
So that was actually pretty good because on the first round, everyone will have 4 dice, and on the first round, everyone will flicks it in once. The only way you're able to hit your opponent is by bouncing it off the wall.
Right.
So you did good going back and forth like that, very much like a billiards.
Yeah.
If your piece didn't go into the hole, you would get another shot because you successfully knocked in one of my pieces.
Oh, wow.
But because it went in, it's kind of, that anyway.
Sacrificed himself.
Yeah, exactly. But like after everybody has rolled all of their pieces in and like the board sits as is, what you're then able to do is you can then pick up any one of your animal dice that's in the field and you're able to reshoot it depending on how it's faced up.
Oh, okay.
So if it's on its back, if it's showing its sides, if it's showing its backside, the butt or whatever like that, you can then shoot it from the dots again. If it's face up like this elephant is, you can shoot it anywhere on the rail.
Oh, wow.
And you can't pick up the stunned animals.
Okay.
So, and then in addition to that, each animal also will have a special ability available to them. So the cheetah here, at the end of a turn, you can do this once per game. This only works once per game. You can take any one of your cheetah dice that's not stunned and move it somewhere else on the field. So if I had something like really right there, way on the edge of the cage, I can use my ability and move it to the center.
Okay.
Where the elephant's ability is charge, instead of picking the dice up from the field, you can shoot it
From
directly from it. Yeah.
That's slick. So
Oh my God,
I'd
so
be
good.
like, flick it.
Yeah, same idea.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is nice. Points. So if the head is.
This is the second game. So after you do this is Battle Royale, cage battle or whatever, last animal standing wins.
Okay.
Another way you can play this is if you flip over the cards, each animal has, it's the same point value on every card.
Okay.
So it doesn't worry about, any animal getting an advantage, but everyone shoots their dice in once. Once all dice have landed in, whether they stand or whatnot, you start scoring them. So in this case, the cheetah will get 2 points for that, 2 points for that, so it's 4 points, and then another 3. So the cheetahs will get 7, elephants will get 5 points for the head.
And
4. So actually, the elephants would win this point value. It's
nice.
The game is really easy to teach. Less than 10 minutes to teach. Really quick to play. Point value is just even a faster way to play the game if you want to. My favorite part about this easily is the dice, just because each one is uniquely designed to look like the animal, and it's a great filler game. So if you're sitting there playing like an hour and a half, 2-hour game, pull this out, lighten the mood a little bit, relax, wait for somebody that hasn't shown up or whatever. I'm stuck in traffic. All right, pull out Kung Fu Zoo. We can wait.
And this is a 4-player game?
This is up to 4-player game.
4?
2 to 4-player game. Again, I think we put the age, we put 10 plus again, just because of the dice and everything like that. But honestly, I've seen like 6-7-year-olds play this, and if you're playing it with a younger kid and they want to shoot the dice, even if something is face up, do a rule like, all right, you can shoot this stunned animal, but you got to use your pinky non-dominant hand, so some type of handicap to it.
Yeah, a penalty of some sort.
Yeah, exactly. So it just keeps them going and keeps them engaging with it.
That's cool. Very cool. And this is gonna, like you said, around 2 weeks.
Like the 31st. Yeah, 31st of March it'll be available. It's $30, and it's just, I love it. Like I can never say too many great things about this game, and I know hopefully in the future more animals will come to it, because there's more than just 4 animals in a zoo. So.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, you got gorilla, but I would like to see some monkeys. I'd like to see some meerkats. I like a meerkat. If it goes in here, maybe
it pops back up or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's so many different abilities you can put. That birds you can throw in here. Just hawks or flamingos or something.
Something cool. Like
there's so many different ways that this game can go, and even just start. I was talking to somebody during game night. They said you can even just reskin it. Like make the fish theme, like an aquarium theme or something like that. So
absolutely,
so much potential for this.
Yeah, this is cool. So this will be available in a couple weeks. So go to your local game store, let them know, hey, I saw Kung Fu Zoo.
Kung Fu Zoo, yep.
From WizKids, I'd like to get it and add it to my collection of board games, and put it on your shelf and take that shelfie, send the picture, let us see it. That'd be awesome.
Yep.
But Can we talk about anything else?
Yes, there is one other game that I do want to talk about that unfortunately at this point it was scheduled to be here for GAMA. It's actually hopefully going to be arriving today and everything, and that would be the new Magic the Gathering Heroes of Dominaria game.
What?
It is. I know, right? Oh man, I hope we get it because we are going to be demoing that here at GAMA. It is a Euro-style game where pretty much you pick your hero, and you have the entire map that's laid out of Dominaria with all the different like places that you can visit. And as you go from place to place, you're collecting mana. You're building ley lines in order to extend your reach out in order to be able to gain mana from different areas. You're able to summon other warriors in order to help you to like spread out. It's more or less a what is it? Like a resource management game.
Okay.
So as you gain your mana, you're then kind of building up citadels and you're building up forces and everything to try to like gain the most
dominance.
Over the game. Exactly. Yeah. So you have like enemies that you have to defeat. So you have to save certain mana to do that. And as you start like beating enemies or collecting artifacts or building up all the monoliths and everything, there's a score pad there. So the more you have, the more points you'll get after a certain amount of rounds.
Nice.
So it's like if you have a 4-player game, it's a 10 round. If you have, I think, 2-player game, it's 11 rounds, something like that.
Okay.
I gotta recheck it out when we get. But after a certain amount of rounds, whoever has the most victory points wins.
So when it comes in,
Yes.
I'll try to get a picture of it for you guys so you can see it.
Yeah.
And have the board laid out and get some good shots of it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That'd be awesome. Well, Chris, thank you for stopping by
Oh, it's been a
today.
pleasure being here.
Here at GAMA, we are having such a blast. Make sure you check out all the other videos of the interviews we've already done, and there's going to be a lot more coming. So here we are, Game Trade Media in Reno, Nevada for GAMA, and we'll be back real soon with some more amazing content.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Board Games and Beyond. If you liked it, leave a like and a comment below, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new content.